Okay, let's get this bug buster going here. Yeah. See if we can't keep the mosquitoes off of her back. This thermocell, slick as a ribbon. What I like to do is set that right behind me. Hopefully it'll work. We'll know when the mosquitoes starts swarming. Okay, what I've got here in this bag is Egyptian walking onions. Now I left these Egyptian walking onions outside here in that last video of overwintering Egyptian walking onions. This is the bag that I'm running a test on here. We harvested these, manicured them a little bit over here. Then I laid them under the carport here for probably a week and let them cure. Then I took them in the house and left them probably for, I don't know, I'd say another week in the dark area there and let them dry a little bit more. Then I put them in the crisper drawer, and they're still cold. They just come out 20 minutes ago. And I've not opened these and looked, and you're gonna see exactly what I see. What I'm thinking is some of these have probably, while they were out here and in the house, I see a little green in there. They may have started sprouting a little bit. I'll show you what I'm gonna do to deal with that. So the first thing is let's get them out of the bag here and see what we're dealing with. I hope they're in good shape. You never know, they're damp. See, when you put something in a crisper drawer, then you bring it out, they're gonna sweat. They're gonna sweat. So let's get prepared for that, because I know they're gonna be sweating. I'll pour them out on this towel, and I don't like doing this either. That's the way it is with anything when you have it cold and bring it out where it's warm and humid. So yeah, they're sweating. Dry them just a little bit. It don't take long, and they'll air out here. So hopefully you can see. Now there's one that's sprouted, and by putting it in the refrigerator, the tips is kind of burning a little bit on it, and that's good. Not near as bad as I thought. There's one that's broke off something somewhere. But I don't see many of them sprouting. I know they're sweating because they're cold. You can see them trying to come on and grow. They all feel solid as the day I put them in there. That's all I know to do is make sure that they're cured good, dried as good as you can. And now these right here that's sprouting, got these green sprouts on it. I'll go right level with the top and trim them off. Level with the top, just trim them off. They don't need to be there. I hope I don't get rained out. I hear thunder raging. But now I'll just tell you, I told you, of course it's been a while, I told you that how to store Egyptian walking onions, and I said it's probably not what you think. Well, I've not got around to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and, I hinted at it I think in the last video, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what I do to these Egyptian walking onions, how I store them, how I overwinter them. It's not like this. And that's another reason. I had questions for people wanting to know how I started. That's why I'm kind of running this little test on these onions. they're sweating. I'm not going to leave them out too long. They're all solid. I don't see any sign of any problems at all. There's one that's two together. I want to get them apart. Get that apart, yeah. But they're just Egyptian walking onions. It's like I say, they're solid. There's nothing much to talk about here. I just know that they're holding so far. I don't know how they're going to do in that refrigerator. It's a long time till, you know, spring. And I know that if I leave these out, they would probably sprout and try to start growing. What I'm trying to do is hold that back. And it's done pretty good. 3 out of all these is all that's sprouted a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and get these and put these back in the bag here, because just like I say, they're cold and there's no need to warm them back up. I'm going to put them back in the refrigerator, in the crisper drawer, and hope for the best is all I know. And we're going to see how long that we can keep these in cold storage. And hopefully they'll do all right. Just like I say, I've never done this. What I always done is when I dug these or pulled these in onions, and I don't dig them, I pull them, and then I usually go right ahead and put these back in the ground. I don't leave these out for any length of time. Well, quite a while to let them dry, but then, you know, when it's time for them to go back in the ground, I get them and put them back, plant them back. That's how I store them, overwinter them, and have perfect, they'll start growing. I could take these right now if I was prepared, which I'm far from it, and go ahead and plant me a row of these. These right here, what's in that bag, would give you a lot of onions. But if you plant them now, or in October, you plant these, and them onions they'll come on and start growing. And you'll have onions, green onions this fall if you wanted to, and then, or you can just leave them alone. But my garden's mulch, and I think that's the key, is that mulch to overwinter them. But that's how I overwinter them. I dig my onions, pull my onions rather, and dry them. And you don't have to dry them. You can pull them today and select you some onions. You don't even have to cut the tops off of them unless you got them big tall tops. Trim them, you know, 8 or 10 inches. Just plant them right back. The day you pull them, lay you a row off, plant them right back, and they're on their way. I like to dry, is what I like. And that way when they come back, once you dry these, you plant these, then they're coming back like little fresh onions instead of them big old tops. The tops will die anyway. I would recommend myself, I've done it both ways, drying them, then putting them out. Yeah, putting a little whiff off there. I'll say this, not a mosquito's touch me, and I'm right again this pawpaw tree here. So I just wanted, as time goes on, I'll bring these out and we'll check them along and see what we can get by with here. Right now, I'm gonna take these and put back in the crisper drawer and see if we can't cool these back off. So I'll talk to you in a day or two about these Egyptian walking onions. Oh, I say a day or two, a few weeks. We'll let a few weeks go by. I'll keep an eye on them. And if they start going bad, then I'll pop on here and make a video and let you see what's going on. So you can go back if you want to and look at those Egyptian walking onions and catch you up on what I'm talking about right now if you're kind of at a loss and don't understand what I'm talking about. But this is just a segment a follow-up on winter storing the Egyptian walking onions. Yeah, you can go back and check them other videos and it'll shine a light on what I'm talking at right now. So I'll see you here in a day or two. It's kind of cooled off a little bit. Had a lot of rain. I think we got about 2 or 3 inches last night. It's just been it goes from extremely hot to a typhoon and this on and off. But the weather, at least next month in September, most of the time around the 21st or something like that, weather starts cooling off, breaking. But when it gets extremely hot, like yesterday is 104 degree heat index, and it felt like it. We got out and picked a bushel of tomatoes and canned them. I think we got 14 quarts is what we'll wind up of tomato juice. But the rain has wreaked havoc on my garden. It's not the rain, and the heat and the rain. Here's what happens. Heat, extreme heat, and excessive rain, extreme heat plus excessive rain equals me staying in the house under air conditioner. And while I'm in there, weeds grow. Some of them out there as tall as my head. Of course, that seems to be just an unusual thing right now. I don't care what kind of garden you've got. If you don't work that garden, the weeds will grow, and especially in a mulch garden. One good thing about it, you can grab a big weed 6 foot tall and just lift it right out and shake the dirt off or the chips off. I'll catch you on the next video.